Traveling or living in Southeast Asia can be a lot of fun. It seems like people will talk to you everywhere. It's easy to exchange phone numbers, and the friendliness is really high, and it seems like a good place to go for a date. However, sometimes the people you meet and the promises of hanging out for a date can be a little bit flaky, and in this video I'm going to show you or give you a couple tips on how to reduce the amount of flakiness. One of the things you should try to do when you're dating in the Philippines is to have the lady meet you in a coffee shop or a mall and text you when she arrives, because it's very common to be late in the Philippines. It's kind of like part of the Filipino lifestyle. It's a relaxed attitude. Foreigners take a while to get used to it. But there is no offense if you're 30 minutes late or something. Hey, what's your name? A little trick you can use to avoid flaky dates or girls that you get phone numbers from but they don't respond later or the next day. And that is you don't immediately go for a phone number close, meaning you will talk to them about what you're going to do together when you meet, or what makes her want to be interested in meeting you. In other words, it's not just that you look good and you have a good job or whatever, but it's actually what you're gonna do when you meet her. So when you meet a new girl, say in a shopping mall, and you exchange phone numbers, and then you say, well, where are we gonna go tomorrow? What do you like doing? Do you like eating Thai food, for example? It could be anything, just a random question almost, just to get them engaged and start thinking about and visioning the actual activity that you two guys are going to do when you meet. But, of course, you don't say to her, oh, I want to kiss you and hug you and run you off the bed. That's not going to fly with most girls. But if you go a little more conservative and say, yeah, I found this restaurant down the street, it's a Mexican restaurant, or it's a California pizza restaurant, or I want to go down to the beach and count the seashells, or whatever. It could be something funny. Could be having coffee in Starbucks, looking at the people going by. It doesn't really matter. Just kind of throw it out there and see how she responds, and normally most people will respond and say, oh, I don't like coffee, but I do like tea, or I do like mango juice, or I like a walk in the park. They'll usually come back with something. They won't just say, oh, I hate drinking coffee. So once you get that response, you say, oh yeah, no problem. They have tea at Starbucks, and they also got some very good juice I've noticed on the menu here in the Philippines. So let's meet there and talk about what we're going to do after we have a juice, something like that. So that way there's very little chance of them flaking on you, unless they just had some unforeseen circumstance that makes them want to postpone the date or cancel the date. So just use that as a little guide for when you're setting up dates or when you're getting phone numbers. Get them engaged in what you're going to do as a plan when you meet. If you just exchange phone numbers and you say, oh, I'll meet you in front of my apartment tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., they're going to wonder, well, what is he all about? Is he going to invite me to his room? Is he going to take me out for lunch? Is he going to drive and take a taxi to the beach? You know, they've got too many questions going on in their head. They don't know whether you're a good guy or a bad guy or something in between, or if you're just here for a few days of play. You know, they probably want to size you up a little bit, just like you want to size them up. I also wanted to mention a little comment on some of the other websites like Tinder. WeChat is an app where you can actually turn on a location service and meet people that are near you in your vicinity. There's a GPS feature where they will report to you, make a list of all the people that are 100 yards from you. You can even sort it by gender, by male or female. And my experience with it is very poor. Yes, you do meet people, they will respond, it's quite amazing. You usually end up with a list of about 20 people in Makati here that are within 100 yards or 100 meters of you. But if it's late in the day or at night, it's almost a guarantee they are freelance entertainers. They're just looking for some quick money from a rich foreigner, maybe to go home with some romance, etc. I don't exactly know what they're up to, but it smells like monkey business. So my experience with it has not been very good, but you do get to meet people, you do get communication from people, and it's quite amazing how the WeChat app actually locates folks within 100 meters or somewhat from your location. So that's the only downside on that WeChat. And when it comes to Tinder, it's, at least in the Philippines, it's full of freelance entertainers and ladyboys. So I also would not recommend that. I don't recall ever having met somebody serious for a long-term relationship on Tinder. It's all play, fun, and games. And sometimes it's not even funny because the profiles will claim to be a lady, but then they turn out to be a guy in disguise, a transvestite. So, yeah, just don't waste your time with either Tinder or WeChat. Stick with the free websites like datingasia.com and findmate.asia.